And also these snacks are really easy to eat on the go. I don't know where I'm going. So today we're going to be talking about what I eat in a day. I've seen a lot of your comments. I've seen how excited and interested you are about nutrition. I'm going to be showing you exactly what I ate yesterday. Most of it's not home cooked, it's not fancy, but it is nutritious and it's food that I genuinely enjoy.
It's time for me to go into the hospital. It's going to be a crazy day because I'm starting super early and I have a really late day. But when it's a gorgeous day like this, it definitely makes it a lot easier. So for breakfast today, I'm doing one of my favorites, avocado toast with a little smoked salmon. Get your essential fatty acids in it. So good. Look at that. You want a bite? You want a bite? No, for me.
Breakfast.
I got all the syrup. I got all the syrup.
It's known as the most important meal of the day, but not everybody wakes up with an appetite, so I understand if breakfast isn't for everyone. But if you do eat breakfast, you're getting a lot of health benefits throughout the day. Not only do you kickstart your metabolism, which allows you to burn calories throughout the day, but you're also giving yourself enough energy to get to the gym. First ingredient, very simple, whole wheat bread. I really enjoy whole wheat bread versus white bread. Whole wheat bread contains complex carbohydrates versus simple carbohydrates that you find in white bread. What it does is it gives you energy to be utilized throughout the day instead of just giving you one quick peak and then a crash later on and sometimes get into that hangry state that we all know about. Next, light cream cheese. You need saturated fat to make hormones in your body, and while it does raise bad cholesterol, it also raises good cholesterol. Next ingredient, my favorite ingredient, avocados. Avocado is actually the Aztec word for testicle because avocados do hang in pairs with one hanging lower than the other, so they do resemble testicles. Pretty cool fact. They contain a lot of antioxidants and they're rich in fiber. Yes, avocado does contain a lot of fat, but it's important to remember that it's unsaturated fat. And that unsaturated fat actually helps increase your good cholesterol and does not affect your bad cholesterol. Lastly, we have salmon. It's a great ingredient to add to your meals because it contains proteins, omega-3s, antioxidants, and on top of everything else, it's delicious. It's snack time.
I just finished rounds. I have to go to research day. Need a snack. Lunch is still a good 3 hours away. I really like the Perfect Bar because made of good quality ingredients.
I'm not their spokesperson, but I'm definitely a big fan. They contain a lot of protein, they're made with good quality ingredients, and because they have to be refrigerated, you know there's no preservatives.
It's lunchtime. Just got my favorite meal for lunch right here, a little Chipotle action. I'm eating with my colleagues here. Say hello, colleagues. They say hi.
While some doctors go to the cafeteria, if I'm not on call, I like to get out of the hospital for a bit, so I do run out to Chipotle. It's one of my favorite places to get lunch. I really like the ingredients that they use. I think they're really tasty. And what I really enjoy is that you're in control. You get to choose what ingredients go into your plate. I really like to get a burrito bowl instead of a burrito or a quesadilla because it avoids some of that extra carbohydrates that you get from getting a wrap. But the things that I do like to make is to get a burrito bowl with either chicken or steak, both high in protein. There's been a lot said about eating red meat and increases risk of cancer. And while that's true in high amounts, if you eat it in moderate amounts, in a good balance, that's obviously not a problem. We have black beans. They are zero fat, and they're one of the richest foods in fiber, which actually allows you to decrease some of the bad cholesterol that you can get through eating an unhealthy diet. Brown rice. Brown rice is definitely superior to white rice. It's a complex carbohydrate. It doesn't peak your sugar level like white rice does. Next, I like to go for guacamole. They always say, do you know that it's extra? And I always say, yeah, I do, but well worth it. I get the mild salsa because I'm not a fan of my food being too spicy. Last but not least, I love cheese. Gives you a little bit of calcium, a little bit of vitamin D. Overall, this is a nutritious meal for someone that shares my goals in trying to keep weight on and build muscle. You have a good mix of complex carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, fiber, all great nutrients. But it's important to note that these meals do contain a lot of sodium. Chipotle is known for that, and now they started putting their sodium content on the menus. So keep that in mind because excess sodium can put extra pressure on your heart and kidneys. I am an athlete, and the rest of my day, I don't take in much sodium. So I think it's a great meal for me, but just again, keep that in mind that the sodium content in this meal is high. You know what time it is? It's snack time again.
Got my carrots and nuts. Perfect healthy snack. What's beautiful about these almonds right here is that they contain vitamin E, fiber, they keep your hair, nails looking fresh. The carrot, you know I love carrots.
Carrots are rich in vitamin A, known as beta carotene. Almonds, great. Unsaturated fats, vitamin E, great food to eat for healthy hair, nails, and skin. And in general, I just think that they're fun to eat. Oh.
Is there a doctor in the house?
Just ordered some sushi. Crazy day in the hospital, but gotta get my protein in, gotta get my omega-3 fatty acids. I like to get a variety of sushi, and I get the real sushi. Not the sushi that people eat with the rolls and all that. Just fish on top of brown rice, very clean. It's really my favorite meal to end the day, get ready for the next day without overeating and feeling fully stuffed when I go to bed.
This is my go-to dinner meal. I love fish. I love the omega-3s that they provide. There's not a lot of calories in here. I prefer eating my sushi with brown rice. We talked about the benefits earlier. You get complex carbohydrates, you get proteins. It's a clean meal. It fills you up, and really it does taste great. Important to note about fish, wild fish is better than farmed fish because it contains less mercury. There's a lot of news going around about how mercury poisoning is bad. So if you are eating farmed fish, make sure no more than 3 to 4 servings a week. So that's what I actually eat in a day. And it's not something that I eat every day. I know yesterday I consumed probably more sodium than I should have, but in general, it's balanced, it's in moderation, and that's really the smart way to go. This diet obviously does not work for everybody, and I don't recommend it for everybody. Hey guys, I'm no master chef, but I'm in a rush in my daily life, so I need quick, healthy, easy meal options to make during the day. So let's get some ingredients. I got my new school shopping list right here, no more pen and paper. I'm no Gordon Ramsay when it comes to being in the kitchen, but I do know a thing or two about nutrition. These are 5 quick, easy, and nutritious meals that you can make at home when you're on the go. Enter Chef Dr. Mac. Let's start with my favorite dish. I like to call this bad boy the underdog, because most people think sardines, ew. No, first of all, sardines are delicious. Second of all, they're an excellent source of omega-3 fatty acids. That's the stuff that you need to develop a healthy brain, healthy eyes. We've seen a lot of studies show that people who consume fish on a regular basis not only are smarter, but they also sleep better. Below that, you have guacamole that has Hass avocados in it. It has tomatoes, it has onions, rich in vegetables, all on top of this crisp bread, which has sunflower seeds, flax seeds, sesame seeds. It's rich in whole grains, has 3 grams of fiber, 3 grams of protein. This is a killer nutritious snack that you can really eat on the go. Don't mind the sardine. Up next, we have something that I munched on all the time in college, the dorm room special. It's really simple, it's not elegant, but it really does the trick. Oven roasted turkey breast, followed by my favorite cheese, Munster cheese. And then you have 2 slices of cucumbers. A lot of nutrition packed into this little bad boy here. You have proteins from the cheese and the turkey, and then you have antioxidants and polyphenols from the cucumbers. Cucumbers contain lignans, and they have a strong history of research in connection with reduced risk of cardiovascular disease, as well as some cancers even. And who doesn't like themselves a little extra crunch? The antioxidant 1-2 punch. That's right. The reason why I call this antioxidant 1-2 punch is because green apples, my favorite kind of apples, yes, Granny Smith, have a ton of antioxidants as well as polyphenols. So the saying, an apple a day keeps your doctor away, is partially true because they do have a host of health benefits. They also are rich in fiber, which keeps you fuller longer. It also helps with sugar management.
Then you have on the side as a little dipping portion of cottage cheese, rich in protein, calcium, B12, all essential nutrients to keep your body going. Then you finally top it off with a little bit of extra flavor from cinnamon, which is 0 calories. That's right, 0 calories. And cinnamon also loaded in antioxidants. That's a 2 in the 1-2 punch. Cinnamon has shown promise in preventing issues with your heart. It's also shown to help better manage sugar within your body, whether you're diabetic or not diabetic. Antioxidant 1-2 punch tastes great and low calorie. The Bear Pleaser. Yep, I named this after my puppy Bear. And what this is just basic Greek yogurt mixed with some multi-grain gluten-free granola. I added a couple of walnuts for myself because I love walnuts, and then finish off with a little drizzle of honey. Greek yogurt, rich in protein and a great source of probiotics. Yeah, probiotics is all that bacteria that lives within inside your gut that helps you to have healthy digestion, helps you to go to the bathroom more regularly, normal stools. We've seen a lot of benefits from people eating yogurt. The multi-grain granola is great because the one that I buy has actually 9 different seeds and nuts in it. You're getting a lot of fiber, you're getting a lot of nutrients packed in, and that crunch is unbelievable. I think that yogurt on its own, especially plain yogurt and granola, is kind of tasteless. So what I do is I take my favorite, I guess, food topping, if you call it, and I drizzle a little bit of honey on the top, give it a ton of flavor because honey is rich in sugar, but honey is also rich in polyphenols, antioxidants, and we've seen some promising studies talking about the favorable effect on cholesterol. So this is a meal that I love and Bear loves. Last and least, it may not be the most adult one of these 5, but it's certainly a favorite of mine in childhood, peanut butter and jelly. Peanut butter really gets a bad rap because it's high in fat. It has some saturated fats, and in small amounts, saturated fats are not bad for you. And it's rich in unsaturated fats, which are also good for you. Peanut butter is also a great way for people who are vegetarian or vegan to get their protein up. When selecting the bread for your PB&J, make sure it's one that has whole grain and whole wheat in the first 2 ingredients to make sure it's the healthiest type of bread that you can get, rich in fiber. If you're gonna choose a jam, make sure it's a high quality jam, not just jam that's packed with a ton of sugar. Make sure it's made with real fruit. Clearly, you don't need to put in a lot of effort to make really quick and nutritious foods. I mean, most of these here have 3 or 4 ingredients at most, and maybe they took me 5 minutes to make.
I gotta smile and say I hope you're feeling better, and make believe it came from you.
Hey guys, a lot of you have been asking the question, can I cook? And the answer really is,
You surprise me to how you are.
I'm no master chef, and I think that's no secret because you've seen my meal prep video in the past, which was really more of like a snack prep video rather than a true meal. But today, you're gonna be cooking with me an entire meal. It's time to get serious. Wait, is the flour in the shot? Probably don't need this right now. Let's open the box first. The first step to cooking a great meal is picking out what you're gonna cook and then picking up all the ingredients. But thankfully, we don't have to do that today because I have this box right here that was delivered right to my door. Let's get cooking. So you have your chiller bag in case you're not home. The food stays cool with the ice. The recipe we're gonna be cooking today is the tahini chicken with crispy smashed potatoes and snow pea tomato salad. Let's take a look at what's fully inside this box. Knickknacks, AKA the sauces. Got the radishes, very healthy vegetable. Grape tomatoes, boneless, skinless chicken, snow peas, golden potatoes, and a garlic bulb. Let's get cooking. 43 carbs with 6 sugars, 52 grams of protein, and a big highlight, trans fat is 0. So the first part is gonna be preparing the potatoes. Let me get my medium pot. These are pots. The medium would fall right in here. Let's do something like they do in clothing. We'll go small, medium, large, extra large. Medium pot of salted water boiling on high. That look legit. Whew. Wash and dry the fresh produce. Produce washing kits, radishes, snow peas, grape tomatoes. I don't know if this is the right way to wash produce, but it feels very efficient. Large dice the potatoes. I'm gonna operate on these potatoes right now. Yeah. Advanced move, 2 potatoes in 1. Let's talk ingredients. Radishes. What a rock star vegetable. You got vitamins A, E, C, B6, fiber. Then you got your grape tomatoes, which have been always my favorite tomato to eat because they're so bite-sized and crunchy. I love that. They got lycopene, which is a really important antioxidant, which has a lot of health benefits. Add potatoes and cook 11 to 13 minutes while stirring. But where's my cooking spoon for the stirring? Using a strainer, drain the cooked potatoes and pat dry with paper towels. Strain, 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 strain. Pat, 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 pat. Transfer to a cutting board. Using the flat side of your knife, carefully smash each potato piece once to flatten. They say a good chef always tastes his food. Halve the peas crosswise, halve the tomatoes, place in bowl and season with salt and pepper. Cut and discard the ends of the radishes, half lengthwise, then thinly sliced crosswise. Look how green and colorful this plate already looks. Peel and finely chop the garlic. Using the flat side of your knife, smash it until it resembles a paste. In a large bowl, combine the vinegar, tahini, 1 tablespoon olive oil, tablespoon of water, and as much of the garlic paste as you like. Season with salt and pepper. Whisk until smooth. Fill a medium bowl with ice water and a pinch of salt. Set aside. Add the half piece to the pot of boiling water. Cook, stirring frequently. Careful, coming through hot, hot, hot. They say to immediately put them in the ice water. You know, in medicine, we have to sometimes shock the patient. But right now, the process that I'm doing here is called shocking the peas. Pat the chicken dry with paper towels. Season with salt and pepper on both sides. In a large pan, heat 2 teaspoons of olive oil on medium-high until hot. Throw in the chicken on the pan. Can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen. Looks good. Add the smashed potatoes in an even layer. Season with salt and pepper. Cook 4 to 5 minutes per side until brown and crispy. I'm gonna be a potato master chef.
Fire, fire.
No, it's not a fire. Oh man, it's getting hot. Oh man, it's getting hot. Ah! Okay, switch gloves. Now this glove is getting hot, Dan. Ah! To the large bowl of dressing, add the shock pea, seasoned tomatoes, and sliced radishes. Look at this creation. That really does look like the picture. Now the question is, does it taste like the picture? That's good. I love that it says stress-free scallops. I don't know about you, but I'm stressed. This sous vide thing is not as easy as it looks. Now I got this fancy new toolkit here. It's a sous vide cooker, basically cooking without a flame in water with a Ziploc bag. I've never done it before. I'm honestly a little bit nervous about it. I'm gonna be cooking a scallop meal with scampi and this angel hair magic 0-calorie pasta that I'm really excited about. Scanning the barcodes of the carrots. Boom, scanned, scallops, boom. 2 tablespoons of butter. It's for the sauce, okay? It's the sauce. Then we got this 0-calorie pasta, wine.
12 seconds later.
My dinner got 31 grams of protein, 600 calories, 33 grams of carbs, 37 grams of fat, a good mix of saturated and unsaturated fat, 700 milligrams of sodium, 1100 milligrams of potassium. I think it's a solid meal. Let's get started. Look at this thing. I feel like it looks like a lightsaber. Even Bear's excited. Do you guys see Bear's little face creeping in? Fill a pot with water, put the thing in the pot, plug her in, and that's it? I guess I have to get this app in order for it to work. God, I gotta create an account. You know what they say about a pot watching a pot fill? A watch pot never fills. Or is that boils? So for this sous vide cooking, it actually is a slow way of cooking. So you keep the desired temperature for a long period of time. That way you don't have to cook with an open flame. When you expose meat to a fire, you actually create some harmful chemicals. And when you cook inside a lower temperature for an extended period of time like this, it's safer. Okay, I think that's how you do it. Ideally, you want to use a freezer type bag. Those generally don't have BPA in them and they won't leak plastic into your foods. Look at those scallops. I'm gonna take some lemon. Bear, I have sharp object. And I'm gonna squeeze a little lemon into here before. So they marinate a little bit while I'm sous videing. Yeah, get all lemoned up. So I'm gonna throw that in there. The instructions call for a 40-minute cook time in 125 Fahrenheit. Okay, I'm about to click start. Okay, get cooking. Whoa! That's cool. Why am I so excited by that? While that whole cooking process is going on here, I thought I would start on the pasta, as well as a scampi sauce. Cool water. I don't know if this is the way to rinse. Boiling water probably needs about 2 more minutes, so I probably should get my pan ready. Not my pan, whatever you want to call this little thing. What do you call it? This is a saucepan? I'm gonna get this saucepan. Melt butter in a saute pan. It's a saute pan! I'm tired of working with amateurs. Melt butter in a saute pan over medium heat. Add olive oil. Raise heat to medium heat. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try and be strategic. I'm gonna turn off the boiling water for a second because I want everything done at the same time. At the same time. Boiling water, put on hold for a second. Melt butter. And then how much butter? The answer is 4 tablespoons, but we're not crazy, so I'll probably do a little bit less than that. 4 tablespoons equal 1/4 cup. But then there's these sort of dashes on it. Which one of these dashes, like if I just cut here, is that a tablespoon? 1 stick equals 1/2 cup, right? So I need 1/4 cup, which is half the stick. Okay. Okay. Where's my knife? Isn't a butter knife used for butter? Yeah, look at that. God, this looks like a lot of butter. Maybe I won't use all this sauce. Maybe this is like for a family of 4. I don't know if you're supposed to do it this much, but I feel like the more I stir, the better result I'm getting. Add olive oil, 2 tablespoons, and raise heat to medium high. Okay, we got 1 tablespoon in there, 2nd tablespoon in there. Oh, you hear that? It's a little scampi. Add garlic and cook until fragrant for at least 1 minute. Okay, do you just put in garlic like this? Or do you chop it up and mince it? It says 4 cloves. This is definitely not the way you do this. But you know what? It's working. And my sinuses are getting cleared out. I'm gonna bring this to my, ooh. Yeah, boy. Add white wine and lemon zest and juice. We need 1/2 cup of white wine, right? 1/2 cup? I'm not making that up? Okay. And they said 1/4 cup of lemon juice. This is definitely not scientific. And this is definitely not 1/4 cup. Oh no, there's a seed! Okay, wait, don't panic. But the sauce! I'm panicking. I'm starting to panic. God, where are all these seeds coming from? Ah! It actually smells pretty good. Let's simmer until the sauce has reduced in half, but they also said add parsley with no explanation of how much parsley, so I'm just gonna throw in some parsley. Parsley. I don't know how much parsley is good. Adjust seasoning with salt and freshly ground black pepper. How does this work? Does anyone know how this works? I feel like barely anything's coming out. Okay, I saw something happen. Black pepper. It smells okay, but it doesn't look... What do you think about the appetizing nature of this? I thought it would be creamier. Isn't scampi supposed to be creamy? Okay, I have about 25 minutes on the sous vide cooking my scallops here. My water is about to boil, so let's throw my weird noodles into the water. What do I have to do to speed up boiling water? I heard like if you add salt, it boils faster. Boil, boil, boil. Would you say it's a boil? I see a few bubbles, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it in. in a non-oiled pan to dry off. God, I feel like such a chef. Sorry, you didn't see that. Alrighty, this is a big portion of these noodles. Excuse me, lemons. Yeah, look at that garlic. It's definitely not supposed to be this watery. It looks like a puddle. Oh, carrots. Let's get some carrots in here for color. You want a nutritionally balanced meal. And the beauty about carrots is you don't have to cook them. I have to do it. Okay, go get the carrot. I love that it says stress-free scallops. I don't know about you, but I'm stressed. I'm stressed just watching you. I am about done cooking my scallops in my sous vide. Do you see it shooting? I'm gonna stop it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop, sous vide. That's pretty cool. Now time to empty the scallops into my dish. Don't judge me for this. I already hear you, everyone laughing in the background. Hold on, I'm gonna spill some of the sauce out. Okay. Oh my God. Based on my life sum calculations, this is a healthy meal, but let's see how I cooked it. It's heavy on the lemon. If I was served this in a restaurant, I'd send it back in soup. But because I made it, and I know it was made with love, I'm enjoying it. Oh, look, even Bear wants it. He's so supportive. Dan, come here. Come in for a bite. Come in for a bite. 10 being the best meal of your life. 0 being rat poison.
There's a taste in there that it's not bad. Like I'm pulling your leg a little.
All right, so what's the number?
3.
I got a 3 from the Dan. Dan has no idea what he's talking about. Solid 6, 7, probably a 4. In all seriousness, I'm not a master chef. I'm just learning. I tried this sous vide thing for the first time, and it's actually pretty easy. Like the scallops were the best part. The sauce is where I failed. Because it was like my first time making sauce. You gotta give me that.
I would never cut my onions.
Or do uncooked onions. Who puts uncooked onions on something?
Exactly. Well, you could put uncooked onions on something.
A sociopath.
As you know, I have some serious culinary skills. So today, I'm hosting my own food competition, where I prepare some really awesome meals for my friends to see if they can decide, did I cook the food or did the supermarket prepare the food? Winner gets a huge prize. And let's thank Vitamix for sponsoring this video. I'm gonna throw on my trusty, dirty, unironed apron here. This is an apron of experience, folks. If you walk into a hospital and you see a young doctor with a really clean white coat, that means they're rookies. Anyway, I'm gonna be preparing all of my meals with my trusty Vitamix A3500 12-cup food processor attachment. Oh yeah, thanks, Bear. With self-detect. Let's make some granola bars. Mixed nuts, 12-cup food processor. What the multi-use blade? This is the multi-use blade. I got some Brazil nuts, walnuts, pistachios, and almonds in there. It's none of those things? These aren't cashews? Brazil nuts, walnuts, almonds. What are these? They look like walnuts. Pecans, what are you doing trying to act like walnuts? By the way, this food processor attachment works with every Vitamix Ascent and Venturist self-detect models. In a large bowl. This looks like a large bowl. Is this a large bowl? This is not a large bowl. Is this a large bowl? I'm gonna combine some chopped nuts. 2, 3, 4. The fact that this comes as an attachment to this base is awesome because if I want to just use the blender, I have the blender just hanging out like this and I could put this away for easy storage. Do I use this to blend? Sesame seeds and coconut. Look at that. Look at that blending. See, I'm not used to doing this kind of motion because I don't do this to my patients. Set aside. You've been cast aside. Vegetable oil. Packed brown sugar. Wow, that was kind of thick. Oh man. Honey is so yummy to pour. Not supposed to do that. It's not a sterile field. Oh yeah. We did that. Toss in the granola bars. They didn't teach you that in culinary school. Oven time? Unsalted butter, corn syrup, 1 cup of brown sugar. Ooh, I think this is my first time using the stove. Nope. Yep. Oh, I have to title the granola bar. Dr. Mike's granola. Mike's Tasty Bar. Barry, you want some? I love that this paper says skill level moderate. Psh, psh, master level chef here. It's boiling! While that's cooling, oh, that's okay. This is harder than it looks. I did not plan it being this hard. I need help! Punch the granola. Punch the granola. You guys think I box to protect myself. I box so I can granola bar. God, I made such a mess. Before I add the other ingredients, I want to make sure the granola is fully granola'd. Probably should have washed my hands before doing this. Now I'm stepping on the granola. I'm getting a pedicure at the same time. Cranberries. Shh. God! This is not a large enough bowl. No! How do I mix? Should I use maybe a big, It's a lot easier in the pot. Maybe because most of it's on the floor now. Hold on. This is okay. It's still okay. Woo! Ooh! Oh, yes. There's definitely a technique to this that I'm not utilizing. You gotta oil up your hands. Well, I got some massage oil. I probably can't use massage oil. I can use this oil though. Ow! Granola is sharp. Wow. What's the purpose of oiling my hands? Slim dunk! These are hands that have saved lives, and now they're pressing granola. Refrigerate for 2 hours. See if Pam and Cody can get to this.
I'm Pamela Ray Schuler. I am a comedian, speaker, and advocate, and Dr. Mike's unofficial sidekick.
My name is Cody Reese. I am a comedian, work at Comedy Central sometimes, and other places on the internet, and I'm also kind of like a food dude. I make food, eat food, write about food, make videos about food.
As a medical resident at times, I needed to have a piece of granola to keep me going. This is simple
But you're a
to make.
doctor?
I'm a physician.
Has never come up.
When
Well,
you
the
touch a
fifth
food,
one is-
what are you looking for?
Squishy factor?
True, always the squishy factor first.
What does the squishy factor tell you?
Squishy factor. It's hard to say. I mean, that's the thing. It's like,
Because if I did that as a doctor, I don't think that would play off very well.
Even when you're touching someone's like belly and stuff, you're not like,
And you want me to give them a squishy factor?
how squishy is this
Generally,
belly?
that's not part of the chart.
I'm nervous about both of these. Which one did you think was good?
I'm not gonna tell you. What do you like in a granola bar?
Energy. I think he needs a magnifying
Well, I'm
glass.
just, you know what, if you guys really want to know what I'm doing, I'm looking at to see like how many different things.
Yeah,
are
me
in
too.
here.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm like, okay, did he buy a mix of like oats that came with like weird little sesame seeds in it? I thought this was gonna be easier, and I'll tell you what, it's not.
Let's go with the one you think is mine.
1, 2, 3.
Flip them.
Oh!
Did I get it? Did you get it? I got it. Did you get it?
We both got it.
I am slowly having more faith in your cooking today.
And Pam only has half of her taste buds.
Is that true?
No.
Time to make a fresh green goddess. It is a salad dressing because sometimes we want to have a healthy salad. 1 garlic clove, peeled. Fresh basil leaf. Baby kale. Go in there, baby. Dandelion greens. These look like dandelion greens. Half a cup of chives. 1 whole lemon, zested and juiced. I zested this myself. 1 teaspoon of maple syrup for that little sugary goodness. Oh, I didn't zest it yet. I zested it now. Greek yogurt, full fat. Oh. 2 tablespoons extra virgin olive oil. I poured the olive oil already because I wanted to see if you were on your toes. This is the maple syrup. Half a teaspoon of salt. Half of it went in, half of it didn't, because we don't need too much sodium up in this house. In the back, right here, there's a little button that says press. That's the quick release. It separates everything and makes it really easy to pour. Oh, too much. Okay, kind of want to taste it. Can I taste it? That's not bad.
Wow.
The product that I produced here is identical on both plates minus the dressing. Lots of vitamins here.
Lots of vitamins, you say?
Lots of vitamins.
Are these both green goddess dressings?
Yes.
I'm gonna need you to
Why
stop
do you call
talking.
them green goddess?
Well, green goddess is a classic dressing that's like mayo based with a bunch of herbs.
Oh,
But that's not what this is?
I don't know.
This one I like better. It tastes fresher.
I think I got this one, but maybe you did too. Are you feeling confident or how are you feeling?
How do you know you got
No,
this
I'm
one?
not confident at all.
I think
Your confidence has worked against you thus far.
Listen, my confidence has worked against me my entire life. So
Flip them over.
Wait, which one?
The one
That
the
we
one
think
that
is
you
you?
think is mine. All right, flip them. Wow!
I thought it was the best. You could use a little bit of salt,
I'm trying to be moderate.
but the salt's the key to food tasting good.
I put
a great
zest
meal.
in there.
What's zest? Were you like, oh,
You like get the.
That's the sound I made while I did it.
I thought he like threw it and he was like, yeah.
PB&J balls, peanuts, salted, raw almonds, oats, raisins. This is where the sugar comes from. 6 dates. I'm single now, so this makes sense. Let's make some balls. Roll into balls. This one's too thick. Look, initially it looks like this, but then once my magical hands are on it and I do this, look at that ball. How do you feel about that? That's it? You don't even chew it? You're sliding away, buddy.
These are special balls
Right.
that I have prepared for you.
Give us something.
I cannot give you anything.
You can't tell. They're just
Smell
energy
it,
balls?
put it in your mouth, touch it to your forehead
Why don't you tell me how you made it?
with TLC. Do you prefer them moist or dry?
I'm not answering that.
Easy money.
Let's see.
I'll tell you what I think after we flip the boards.
Oh my
'Cause
God.
I've got something to say.
Pick the store-bought ones.
3, 2, 1.
Now flip it to yourselves.
I think the one that I ate is.
You ate the ball that Mike made.
I think it's rotten.
It's horrible.
I didn't know that there was an option that we'd be eating horrible store-bought stuff.
On to the turkey burger. 2 turkey breasts cut into large chunks. It sounded moist. Bam, onion. 1/3 of a cup of mayonnaise. Pop. 1/4 cup ketchup. 1/3 cup of breadcrumbs. 3 tablespoons of turkey burger seasoning. Season it. When good burgers go bad. Is that the proper consistency for a turkey burger? A pancake? Bad turkey. Bad, bad, bad. Ooh, that's a good patty. Ooh, that's juicy. Ooh. 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 Oof. 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 Don't know why I keep making that noise. Oof. I went upside down. Look at that. And then they get a little design for the restaurant. Oh wait, what do I do with this? Gotta massage it on so it's evenly spread. And then press it. There you go. Voila.
Are you firmly planted on thine stools?
Yeah, I feel pretty firm.
I don't know how
here.
firm I am, but I feel okay about it.
A burger made out of the bird known as turkey.
Right, of course.
How did you know?
Well, you can tell
It's
by the
very
color.
clearly turkey.
And you may notice, to your right, on the table, is a food processor attachment for the Vitamix A3500 blender.
My word.
That is your prize.
Whoa!
Shall you win this competition?
Holy moly!
I want it.
The loser has to wash it.
Oh, damn. I actually don't have any hands, or I would.
Look, he's touching the texture.
Just like look at the bun. This bun is like not super fun to eat. This one's probably more fun because it's squishy and soft. I would never cut my onions.
Or do uncooked onions. Who puts uncooked onions on something?
Exactly.
Well, you could put uncooked
A
onions on something.
sociopath.
Maybe you bought this from a really derpy place where we were cutting their onions.
You don't know what I
If he's feeding us derpy food,
What's a derp?
I don't.
What's a derp?
I like the bun on this one better. I like the sauce on this one better. This one is more manageable where I can take a bite of it.
That sounds like a size issue.
I'm keeping it classy today.
Okay.
Ready?
Okay.
The one that I think Mike made. 1, 2, 3.
They're both upside down if you want to rotate.
Hey!
Time to make a little basil pesto sauce for my pasta here. Let's start with the Parmesan cubes. Bam. What you know about them pine nuts? Garlic clove. Bear, be quiet. Basil. Ooh, olive oil. Oh, and time to put the pasta. Just kidding. We need it to process for 1 minute and 30 seconds, during which time I will show you my dance skills. Quick release. Oh, yes. Yes. Look at that. You spread it nice and even, and then you taste it. I'm a chef.
Both of these are from the store. Both of these are mine. It's anybody's game.
Wow, they look almost identical.
So this is where it's gonna get tricky, folks. There's an envelope.
I have to put all of the noodles in the envelope? There's no way.
You have to mail them to the right address.
With the post office the way it is today?
Cody, you have 3 points. Pam, you have 4 points.
Right.
Oh,
For the final round, you have to wager.
No!
10 seconds.
Wait, stop. I just got the
10
marker. Start it
seconds.
over again.
5 seconds.
Oh my God, Mike.
I will collect these. The pastas are both from the store that I made.
Okay.
But then the sauce.
So the sauce is what we're testing.
Use your noses, use your eyes, use your faces, use your ears. Get a sense of what it's telling you. It's a pesto sauce. That's what was the green on the shirt.
Obviously, it's
Look.
a pesto sauce.
Look.
I know.
Pam, which one do you think tastes better?
I don't know.
Which one tastes better to eat?
What else can you
Same
do?
to me.
That's the way I look at it. It makes everything much clearer.
He's like taking apart the noodles. I didn't make the noodle guy.
No, I know you didn't make the noodle guy. I will say it is remarkably similar.
They're both, honestly, just okay.
Really?
Yeah, they both need salt.
I've never purchased pesto. Not entirely sure what pesto is.
Can either of you tell me what kind of pasta this is?
It's the squiggly boys. It's the squiggly boys. They sell them in the squiggly aisle.
Squiggly boys.
Wow, I thought I brought on 2 food chefs.
Food chefs.
You knew I wasn't.
Food chefs unite. I thought you dudes was food chefs.
You're only allowed to guess on 1 plate. Pam, you wagered how much?
4.
You wagered?
2.
So Pam is correct. She will have a total of 8 points. If she's wrong, she'll have a total of 0 points.
Right.
If you guess correctly, you will have a total of 5 points. If you guess incorrectly, you have a total of 2 points.
Exactly. I thought this one was Dr. Mike, and now I'm holding it up here, and I don't know. You guys are seeing something that I'm not seeing.
Flip it!
If it says store, then I win.
Oh, he got his correct.
And so did,
Well, wait a second. How many points does that make for Cody?
Cody's at 5.
5 points.
whatever.
Pamela Ray Schuler. Hold up your sign to the audience. What do you think it is? Flip your other scoreboard.
Wait.
I have double.
Oh! Mind freak!
We should have looked at each other's.
Tough.
Well, I couldn't.
What happened on my pasta? I think we've all learned a lot today. That's my personal opinion. I know some people might disagree.
What are you gonna do with your new Vitamix A3500?
I'm gonna go make tortilla soup!
As a happy medium, can I just continue coming here to get fed?
Yes.
That seems fair.
We're gonna go shopping and I'm gonna show you everything you need to know that a doctor looks for when they go grocery shopping. Come on. Huge thanks to Amazon Fresh for sponsoring this video. All right, I've already broken one of my rules in that you're not supposed to go shopping for food hungry. Please eat before you go food shopping. It's so tempting to buy a lot of unhealthy choices just because you're hungry in that given moment. What's cool about this Amazon Fresh store, you literally scan on your app this in-store code that I have pulled up on my phone, walk in, and then there's no checkout. You just leave. Let's start the most important aisle, produce. Remember, I always say plant-focused diet is the way to go. And look at the fresh produce. Like I wanna go to town on these strawberries. For me, my breakfasts a lot of times contain yogurt and berries. Why berries? Rich in vitamins, rich in antioxidants, not a lot of sugar. If you compare it to a pear, a banana, my go-to ones just for variety of taste really, strawberries, raspberries, and one of the most antioxidant-rich fruits out there, blueberries. I see a lot of people make mistakes when it comes to mold on their berries. If you see one berry that's moldy, just throw that one out, the rest are still fine. See, what you want to do is get frozen berries and vegetables that you could use in your smoothies. A lot of people think freezing berries can lower the nutritional value, but we haven't found that to be quite true. So load up on those frozen berries. Blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, and because they're frozen, you don't even need to add ice. See, unagi, unagi. I'm going to include, obviously, along with some turkey, some green beans. This is a great low sodium food. They're rich in vitamin K. There's fiber content in here, the type of fiber that actually helps you lower your LDL cholesterol. And if you've seen my other videos, you know that I have slightly elevated LDL cholesterol. So we're getting some green beans today. That's absolutely a must. Normally, I like to buy my greens loose. When you're cooking just for yourself, the proportions matter. The amount you buy matters. You don't want all of it to spoil and just be thrown out. But because we're preparing for a party, I need my greens to be pre-packaged. And I really want to focus on spinach, kale, arugula, romaine as the base of my salad. Some people like using iceberg lettuce. While that is rich in folate and vitamin A, I do say that the other ones tend to be a little bit more nutritious, have more value. I think you could get a mixture like this where you get baby spinach and arugula. This has been washed. It's ready to go. It's gonna make my life a little bit more simple. You can't have a salad without tomatoes, especially beautiful tomatoes like this. Like this is an epitome of a beautiful tomato. There's some doctors out there that claim tomatoes are unhealthy or cause problems with your gut, and this is largely untrue for the huge majority of people. This has only 2 grams of sugar in half a cup, despite it tasting sweet. With vitamin C, potassium, folate, like just so much nutrition. I just wanna Speaking of Thanksgiving-esque foods, sweet potatoes are the way to get your complex carbs in. You just have to be careful if you are monitoring your caloric intake. This could be a high-calorie food if you eat a lot of them. You get 4 grams of protein, 6.6 grams of carbs,
769%, the daily nutrition of vitamin A, of vitamin C 65%, manganese 50%, vitamin B6 29%, potassium 27%, copper 16%, niacin 15%.
If we're talking about nature's multivitamin, sweet potato, great choice. My nighttime snack. And I know a lot of people laugh when I did the video and I said, why are you throwing out the kiwi skin? It's absolutely true. If you wash them, eat it with the skin, you're gonna be boosting the fiber intake really significantly. I find for myself that kiwis help me fall asleep better at night. There's some scientific proof to this. It's a little weak, but for me, anecdotally at least, it's worked quite well. And again, lots of vitamins, lots of minerals. Before going food shopping, make sure to make a list and stick to that list. The number 1 tip I give to parents is if you don't have junk food in the house, the kids aren't gonna eat it. And Amazon Fresh cards have a really specific indent to put your phone in to make sure that you're getting all the ingredients for your list. When I think about sauces, I really try and think about the nutrients that are gonna slide into my foods. So for example, if I'm gonna be eating my morning eggs and I don't wanna increase the caloric intake of my eggs, Tabasco sauce gives you a lot of flavor without the calories. Literally 0 calories. It's important to know that depending on your condition, you could always go for varieties of certain foods. Like for ketchup, they have the no sugar added variety if you struggle with sugar issues, perhaps if you have diabetes, or the no salt added option if you have kidney problems, or if you're struggling with congestive heart failure. While there are some general rules about hyper-processed foods being unhealthy, foods are healthy or unhealthy depending on your current individual life, goals, medical conditions, and it needs to be individualized and tailored for you. There's a ton of salad dressings that are available for purchase. I like to kind of make my own with the most magical ingredients, and those are olive oil, extra virgin Greek olive oil. And I only say magic because of that cool transition. There's nothing really magical about this. It's just my preference when it comes to oils. Balsamic vinegar. Mix it in with the olive oil, makes perfect salad dressing, adds flavor, adds kick. If it's a sweetener and it has carbohydrates in it, it's basically the same thing. So I try and go for the Manuka honey version. We actually use medical grade Manuka honey, not what this is. In medicine, when we're talking about wounds that are not responding to antibiotics, we use Manuka honey there. So I do try and put this in my tea if I'm not feeling great, but also just like a little drizzle on my yogurt in the morning that already has 0 grams of sugar added. I add it myself with a little bit of honey. And apparently, there's a Mike's Hot Honey great fibrous food here. You have soluble fiber, which does tend to keep you regular. And the big surprise here, 6 grams of protein in just 1/3 of a cup. Fiber, protein, win for me. Now, any doctor that's gonna tell you they don't enjoy a little bit of pie every now and then, I feel like they're not being honest with you. We're celebrating, it's okay to have some pie. Yes, there's sugar content, but there's great nutrients in here because it is a berry pie. So I try and find some kind of dessert that always has some added nutrition to it. And berries, that's a great way to boost the nutrition. For me, because this is a rare treat, it's occasional, it's not gonna make or break my healthy lifestyle. So I'm okay having this, especially if I have a small amount. And I don't want you deciding for your lifestyle if you're eating completely healthy or unhealthy based on one choice. It's about the general philosophy that you have when it comes to food shopping. As I'm browsing through these aisles, I'm really impressed with the high quality and the amount of selection of healthy whole foods. Like even just walking here and seeing this spice rack and seeing how many options there are, it's awesome. For me, spices are nature's spice. There's no better way to say it. Because a lot of times we say, oh, healthy food is boring or doesn't taste good. But that's because we're not using spices. Remember, a lot of these spices are 0 or low calorie. They are nutritious. I even try to use spices like cinnamon in my morning yogurt just to add a little bit more flavor, or even in my coffee. When I think about bread, I think about maximizing nutrition from a very simple food. Now, this bread here has to have the first ingredient being whole wheat, not if you're gluten-free, of course. And I want the dietary fiber to be at least 3 grams. That's telling me that I'm in a good place. This one's exactly 3 grams. Because it has flax seeds and other seeds on it, you're getting a little bit of protein as well, 5 grams of protein, 14 grams of whole grains, and 520 milligrams of omega-3. You're making a usually non-nutritious food very nutritious. A lot of people like to talk about vitamin D and its importance to health, and I agree totally, but a lot of people overdo it with vitamin D supplements. I'm trying to find foods that have a good amount of vitamin D content, and sardines are the way to go. You know, some people make fun of me for eating sardines, but at night, if I'm hungry, I crack open a can and have some. Not only are you getting a serious protein boost, but you're getting omega-3s, vitamin D, 70% of your day's vitamin D in just 1 serving. That's 3 ounces of sardines. $2.79. If you wanna splurge a little bit and go for the $3.29, you're gonna get sardines in olive oil, which you know, I love olive oil. So again, very reasonable and very doable to eat a healthy diet. It's not something I recommend, but I found that a food that allows me to board eat and still be quite healthy and match my caloric intake is popcorn. And this sea salt and black pepper, game changer. Literally my favorite popcorn. Every friend that I let try this, they want it. And it's actually hard to find this flavor of Skinny Pop, so I'm glad they have it here in the Amazon Fresh store. So,
Dang, dude.
no, I need these. Don't judge me. Turkey, a lot of people treat it as an underrated meat. You're getting high protein content, 26 grams of protein per serving, only 1% fat, it's very lean. Important reminder, cook your turkey to 165 degrees Fahrenheit. That's crucial to make sure that you're killing all those pathogens that could potentially be found in your turkey. But otherwise, enjoy. This is my morning fuel before every boxing session. I'm having Greek yogurt with granola, with berries. I like to get one without the berries in it and then add the berries myself. That tends to have less preservatives. Antioxidants in the berries tend to last longer, therefore be in higher amounts when I'm actually digesting them. And I specifically go for the Stonyfield brand. There's other great brands out there, but they have 6 live active cultures in here, all great species of good bacteria that live naturally in your gut that allow you to have a healthy microbiome, so keep those good bacteria fed. So I got my food, I guess it's just scan and go. Ooh-wee. It is time to celebrate. Okay, that didn't work well. All right, so we just gotta have our 10 million celebration here. We got Sam the man, Dan the man, Bear the dog, and we're about to enjoy the celebration. Huge thank you for 10 million subs. I just ordered 6 different burgers, 5 of them being vegetarian, 1 of them being beef. Will I taste a difference? Which one will I like better? I wanna focus on 3 things here, looking at all the nutrition facts. First, calories. Impossible Burger rings in as the most calorie dense. 710 calories when compared to 630 for the Beyond Burger, 650 for a regular burger, and the lowest being the quinoa at 510 calories. Next, I wanna jump to the sodium content. I didn't expect this, but the meatless burgers actually have really high sodium contents, more than the actual beef burger. The beef burger has 780 milligrams of sodium, but the Beyond Patty has 950, and the Impossible has 1210. Even the quinoa has 730. It's clear that these meatless burgers are trying to up the flavor by putting more salt in there, which can be problematic for those who have high blood pressure, heart disease. That can put a lot of strain on the heart. And the final macronutrient I want to focus on is protein. I would think the beef burger would have the highest amount of protein, but that's not true. Impossible Burger, 47 grams of protein compared to the beef, 39 grams, compared to the Beyond Burger, 33 grams. And then the rest of these, the black bean, sweet potato, and quinoa are in the low 20s. Why is that important? Well, first of all, you need protein to sustain muscle, especially for myself, because, you know, I'm trying to be a muscular person, but also because you need protein to feel satiated, meaning to feel full. Having the Impossible Burger have 47 grams of protein will mean that you'll eat it and probably feel very full. As opposed to the sweet potato burger, only 20 grams of protein, you still may be hungry after eating that one. I'm ready to try these burgers. I wanna know what they feel like on my tongue, what they smell like, what they taste like, and for you to get my rating. All right, it's time to blindfold myself with a tie. Gray what? Christian who? I'm ready for my first burger.
Give him a little shuffle because you saw that stack.
I didn't see the stack. Why is everyone denying the fact that I'm an honest human being? I'm gonna talk about 3 things on each of these burgers. One is the scent, the mouth feel, as I like to call it, the mouthiness, and then taste. And then I'll give it a out of 5 stars, I guess. I feel like that's reasonable. Ooh, that warm brioche bun. All of them have the same ingredients, by the way. Scent-wise, I already smell vegetables. It almost smells like a sweet potato, but I don't want to judge it just yet. All right. Oh, no. I know which one this is. This is the bean one for sure. This is never gonna trick anyone to say that they're eating meat. Got a big piece of love. That has thing in my teeth. Mouthiness, I would say I can mouth and feel the beans, which is kind of weird. It doesn't taste like a regular burger. The fact that it has standard ingredients like lettuce and tomato and cheese makes it taste better, but it has a little bit of sweetness to it. And that taste, right away you get the bean thing hitting you right in the face like you're eating a Chipotle burrito or something. I'll probably give this 2 out of 5. Sorry, bean burger. Next, time to hydrate. Okay, this one smells decent. Oh my God, this could be beef. It smells really good. I really feel like this is beef. Let's give it a taste. See, I think this one's trying to be beef really hard. I'm still getting a little vegetable-y kick. This is really good. There's something about it that I'm not buying that it's meat. There's just something. There's like a little mouthfeel is really good though. Really good. It tastes like beef. It falls apart like beef. It could be beef, but I don't think so. I'm gonna go ahead and guess this is the Impossible Burger. This one gets 3 out of 5 stars for me. Next, cleansing the palate. Why am I yelling? All right, burger numero 3. Oh, this one's heavy. Oh yeah. This is a beef patty. If I'm getting tricked on this, it's really embarrassing, but it smells like a fresh burger. Yeah, this is a beef burger. My protein sensors on my tongue are lighting up. If it's not, I swear to God, it's crazy. That tastes like beef. It smells like beef. The consistency is like beef. It's not a great burger. I'll give it like a 4 out of 5. Next. But that was the burger, right?
No.
No? Are you not gonna tell me? All right, burgero numero 4. Oh my God, this tastes like, it smells like pure vegetable. God, now I'm confused. Is it a vegetable burger? I don't know what this one is doing. You know what's funny? I didn't ask for sauce on any of these.
And this one has sauce, so it's confusing me. I have no idea. What do we have left? Beyond quinoa? This might be the Beyond Burger. It smells like kind of like meat. I think it's just a Beyond Burger. I think the consistency is pretty consistent with meat. I want to just take a bite of the patty. It's really close to beef. It's like beef, but a little bit sweeter. I'll give it 3 out of 5 stars. All right, numero 5. Solid weight. Has no real scent. Again with the sauce. Oh my God, what is that? Is this the Beyond or Impossible Burger? That's good. Oh my God, this might be the Beyond Burger. This is definitely not meat. If it's meat, I'm so embarrassed. I messed up one of the other ones. This is either Impossible or Beyond. Or is this quinoa? God, the taste is weird. It's a weird taste. I don't like this taste. I give it 2 stars. I don't know what that is. We're gonna mark the 5th one as a question mark for now. Next.
Did you just say it was really good?
Like really good and tricking me with the mouthfeel. Save the best for last. Ooh, this one's got some weight to it. Okay, this is definitely one of the vegetarian ones. God, I'm getting a little nauseous. This is a quinoa burger. I just got like a huge hit of quinoa. Or no, sorry, sweet potato. Mouthfeel, really bad. It tastes like you're eating a sweet burger. It's not good. 1 star. Blech. Okay, here's my list. Let's see how I did here. Burger number 1 was a black bean burger. I gave it 2 stars, and I said it was black beans, which is correct. The second one was a quinoa patty. I said beef. I really said it was beef? No, I didn't. I gave it 3 stars while the quinoa patty's coming in here and surprising me. Third was the beef patty. I knew that. I gave it 4 stars. 4 was the Beyond Burger, and I got the Beyond Burger. What's up? 5 was Impossible, and I said questionable, Beyond Impossible or quinoa. I couldn't get that one. And then the sweet potato, I said it was sweet potato, and I gave it 1 star. I did really good. I got 5 out of 6. Come on, that's impressive. You guys gotta give me some love for getting 5 out of 6. I think the biggest shocker out of all of this is, I said quinoa patty was questionably beef. I gave it 3 stars and I thought it was an Impossible Burger. I'm surprised the Impossible Burger kind of let me down. Let's talk nutrition and health when it comes to these meatless burgers. First, and it's the thing that surprised me the most, on the burgers that tasted very close to meat, they actually had macros that were quite similar, if not worse, than the actual beef burger. For example, the Impossible Burger has more saturated fat, more calories, more sodium than the traditional beef burger. I can't really go ahead and call these health foods because they're still indulgences. We should treat them the same way as we do regular burgers, that you should have them only occasionally, only as a treat, because if we fall into the category of thinking these are health foods, people are gonna start eating them as part of their regular diets, and that's not healthy. I noticed a pattern. The closer they taste to meat, the more likely they are to be unhealthy in terms of their macros. When I say unhealthy, I mean high amounts of saturated fats, high in calories, high in sodium. Because if you look at the sweet potato, the quinoa, the black bean, those are generally lower in sodium, lower in fats, in comparison to the Impossible and Beyond Burger, which taste very, very similar to the actual beef burger. I think the biggest positive of these meatless burgers is that we can decrease overall meat consumption. That's a good thing, not only for your health, but for the environment as well. I'm a big fan of meatless Mondays. No one's saying you have to go vegan in order to be healthy. You can decrease your meat consumption, have a plant-focused diet, and still be incredibly healthy, if not healthier than if you were following a traditional vegan diet. I actually said that in my vegan video. I'm about to use my medical experience to tell you 5 of the healthiest items you can get in Taco Bell and the one that's the most unhealthy. But I need some help for this video, so please welcome Andrew from Babish Culinary Universe.
Oh, hey, what's up, man?
We're gonna be talking Taco Bell, and really where I'm making this decision from is 4 factors. 1, sodium levels, 2, fiber, 3, protein, and calories. And it's really all about trying to keep it reasonable rather than super healthy or super unhealthy. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Whole ingredients, fewer of them, less preservatives. It's good. It's gooder for you.
And you're going to be taste testing. You excited?
Very. I love Taco Bell.
Okay, well, let's get started. Yo quiero Taco Bell. You see a Taco Bell. What's the first food you go for?
Double-decker taco, the one with the cheese.
You go for a soft shell taco. But the hack that I want to give people is that there's a specific way to order a soft shell taco that is healthy. It's called al fresco.
Oh.
where they basically insert vegetables to replace some of the saturated fatty components of the food, like the sour cream, like the cheese.
So by vegetables, you mean a little bit of lettuce and tomatoes?
Well, I've heard tomatoes are fruits, but only because Dan told me that earlier.
Oh, I just got caught on camera saying it. Never gonna live that down.
The idea here is it's calorically dense. It's 150 calories in a little package, which is nice. You have some protein content because of the chicken. And because you're going al fresco style, you only have 4 grams of fat with 1 gram being saturated fat.
What I am gonna say is that taco,
I was gonna say the taco doesn't feel nice. It's like an aged taco.
It's got some rings on it, you know, like a good tree, like a good piece of oak, you know. It's been compressed. It's kind of all mooshed in there.
Yeah.
Tortilla's very soft, which I really like. The chicken is clearly marinated. I mean, look at the marination.
And they were not supposed to put sour cream in the al fresco style, so they've let us down already.
Ah, Jesus.
But that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because that's what's probably gonna happen when you go and you...
They're not gonna get you what you ordered. This looks like real chicken. It's not like a chicken patty product or anything. I see real grain and musculature.
Okay.
The lettuce is on top, that's a taco.
Okay.
The cheese is very finely shredded, but you can see it's still.
Yeah, it's all in one place.
Yeah, it's all in one place. You see, it's still kind of broken up, and that's probably because they're putting anticoagulants and anti-caking agents on it, which just leads to a bad experience. Plus, you're getting extra starch in there that you don't need.
You don't need that. A lot of sour cream in one bite. A lot of sour cream.
A lot of unmelted cheese.
Oh, we're having different experiences eating the same food right now.
I can feel the separate shreds of cheese in my mouth. I'm gonna try the chicken on so and see what we're working with here. We got some grill marks on it. That's pretty cool. Probably.
You think those are legitimate?
Definitely painted on there by a robot that hates humans.
The great part about their website is that they give a great nutrition fact section for each food. This is a calorically appropriate food if you're trying to be low calorie. There's some protein in there. What ingredient would you add to this to give it a little, a pepper?
Hot sauce, definitely. Probably
Yeah,
just
give it a
throw
little
some hot sauce
kick.
on here. And I don't know how you feel about that because of the sodium, but hot sauce is just the meal saver. Everything that we get from here, load up that hot sauce on it.
Yeah,
It tastes
and
better.
there's ways to improve the spiciness without adding salt. There's ones with 0 calories. There's one with 0 sodium with vinegar as the main component. So there's ways to do it. Oh, hold on a second. This is a real moment. I have a chicken bone in my chicken.
No, that's never happened before in the history of Taco Bell. It's your first time trying it.
Dude, this is my first time, and this is a sharp bone.
Their chickens don't even have bones.
Hold on a second, can we sue? Food number 2, bean burrito.
Ooh.
Why do we go bean? Fiber, protein, generally speaking, low fat.
Gas.
Well, what happens is part of the fiber your body can't digest, so it goes through, but then the bacteria that naturally live in your gut, they digest it, and what do?
Fart.
And then you fart.
So
it's not even your fart.
That makes me feel a whole lot better.
Yeah. So
Let
you
it
could
rip,
blame
folks.
it. Yeah, you could blame it on the bacteria.
I'm gonna do that next time at a party.
So we have the bean burrito, but this time instead of the red bean sauce, which packs on the sodium, because the traditional bean burrito has 1,040 milligrams of sodium, which is half your day's sodium for an average person in an average situation for an average nutrition facts label.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say that seems like too much salt.
But you can lower it by removing the red bean sauce and just putting tomatoes in like we requested. Let's see if they listen.
I see tomatoes.
Okay, I see tomatoes.
Okay.
But I feel like there's still red bean sauce on here. Isn't that not red bean sauce?
There's a hot sauce. Can I?
Yeah.
That's hot sauce.
Hot sauce, okay.
Do we get hot sauce on these?
Not intentionally.
That's insane.
Well, you gotta love it. But there are some onions, there are some tomatoes, there are some beans, which are ingredients that I would say are healthy. It's very beany.
That's all bean.
It's all bean. I mean,
It's a bean
there
burrito.
are worse foods than beans.
I'll tear this apart from a culinary perspective if you want. It's garbage.
Okay.
Sorry.
Why? Elaborate on the garbage.
There's very little flavor. The texture is only soft and squishy.
Yes.
The beans are really all there is.
Yeah.
And I know some people like bean burritos. This might be a bias for me, but that's just not the core component that I want. I need some rigidity here, okay? Otherwise, we
No
just have a
structure.
big old flaccid,
Floppy.
whatever this is going on here.
Nobody wants a flaccid
And
bean
look
burrito.
what happens. So now we're on to the Power Bowl.
The Veggie Power Bowl.
Fungalicious.
Do they only have 3 vegetables at Taco Bell? I just see beans, tomatoes, and rice.
Yeah, probably.
That sucks.
And I still don't think tomatoes a vegetable, no matter how hard we try today.
Oh, I keep forgetting that.
There's also some avocado ranch sauce on here. This little amount of sauce has soybean oil,
cultured buttermilk, water, avocado, cage-free egg yolk, vinegar, white wine, vinegar, 2% less of salt, garlic juice, sugar, natural flavor, lemon, lime,
and milk and eggs that are certified vegetarian.
What is all that for? I know it is preservatives and anticoagulants, but like, did they taste it and they were like, you know what? It doesn't have enough.
A lot of ingredients that we can't pronounce are actually safe ingredients that have been tested. But my question is why? This is a densely caloric rich food, 400 calories. You got fiber in there.
Wait, this is guacamole.
Yeah, we're missing guacamole.
We didn't get any guacamole.
Yeah, no guacamole.
That's a vegetable. That's a good vegetable, right? That's fatty, but
it's good. It's good fat, unsaturated fat.
All right, I'm gonna start with each individual component and then I'm gonna mix it up into a big monstrosity.
I don't have any skills, so I'm just gonna eat it.
Oh God. Oh my God.
That ranch sauce is just water.
This rice tastes like chlorine. I'm not joking. There is an astringent quality.
I would venture to say musky. I mean, I like that these are black beans though. Black beans have virtually no fat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And they're very good for you.
Protein,
iron,
fiber. Dare I say, the healthiest item in Taco Bell is right here in front of us.
What is it?
It's one ingredient, made up of 7 ingredients. It has protein, it has fiber, it's black beans.
No, it's black beans.
50 calories, 3 grams of protein, 3 grams of fiber.
And it looks delicious.
And you know who's gonna love this?
Me?
The bacteria inside your gut.
Oh my bacteria. What's in the black beans? It's normal shit.
Yeah.
Except for natural flavor.
Yeah.
Which, what the hell is that?
I ate all of it.
Oh my God, you did.
50 calories is the healthiest thing I could eat. Might as well maximize the gains.
What do you think, folks? You wanna look like this or you wanna look like this? Eat your beans.
The black bean, Crunch Wrap Supreme.
Bless you, Taco Bell.
This is the hottest ticket at Taco Bell.
This is popular, but we have to make it al fresco.
Of course.
We have to replace the sour cream with diced tomatoes.
I'm not trying to die. So, we have ourselves a Crunch Wrap Supreme.
I'm gonna treat this like a patient encounter. Hello. My name is Dr. Varshavsky. I'm gonna make an incision vertically.
Oh, he really is making an incision. Oh, now it feels so much more visceral with that. Beautiful. Oh, look at that cross section.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Honestly, this looks healthy.
I mean, there's a lot. It's mostly
The
tortilla.
beans are cut so nicely.
Yeah, you
though.
cut right through these
I cut through
beans.
the middle of the bean.
That is surgical. He did a surgical thing.
Yeah,
with
this
the,
is
with the,
good.
With the
That's a
Crunch
good
Wrap.
knife. Is that your knife?
Is it? Yeah, it is. Yes, it is.
Get this knife. I'm gonna buy this knife. Where's this available?
It's available on Amazon right now.
We're buying this on Amazon right now.
How many calories are we looking at for this?
It's around 500 calories.
Okay, so for a small meal, that's not
Yeah, it's a
terrible.
meal. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're having 3 meals a day, that's 1,600 calories a day. That's very reasonable.
You can have 3 of these a day. It'd be fine.
Well,
I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
honestly, it's not bad though.
The fried tortilla brings a lot of flavor.
Yeah.
Which it adds oil, it adds cooked corn, which is a very flavorful ingredient.
This isn't what I would call a healthy food.
Yeah.
I would call it the healthier option.
Yes.
The least healthy thing in Taco Bell. High in saturated fat, high in calories, high in sodium, high in carbs, low in fiber. The Breakfast Crunch Wrap Sausage Supreme.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'll take a breakfast crunch thing.
It's so markedly thicker and different than the
And there's no beans in this one.
There's no beans.
So you're not getting the fiber.
So I'm actually gonna like it. And
You get a hash brown, you get sausage, you get egg, you get cheese, you get dressing. There's a lot happening on this little piece of food.
yeah.
My cholesterol's high. There's so much saturated fat. What is it? 47 grams of total fat in this tiny
Whoa.
little thing.
That's insane.
That's a bomb.
Under what circumstances should people eat this?
You're lost in the desert.
What the heck is ketogenic diet?
Quickly lose weight. Fats with benefits.
Satiates your appetite.
Ketosis.
Ketosis. Butter is good.
Explain yourself.
The ketogenic diet. Let's break down what all this hype is about. I'm gonna tell you what it is, briefly how it works, and discuss some of the claims that are most commonly made on the subject. Let's get started. Before we get into the ketogenic diet, let's break down some very simple nutrition basics. There are 3 major macronutrient groups that we're gonna be paying attention to: proteins, fats, and carbs. These are nutrients that you find in the foods you eat every single day. The standard American diet consists of 35% of fats, 15% of proteins, and 50% of carbs. Now, if you're looking at the ketogenic diet, the numbers are quite different, with 75% being fats, 20% being proteins, and only 5% being carbs. Think about that. That's 10 times less carbs than in the standard American diet. Let's say you switch from your standard diet to a ketogenic diet. What happens inside of your body? Your body deals with this very low carb consumption in 2 ways. First, it enters a state called ketosis, which shifts your body's energy source to primarily fats, which basically means that it breaks down fats into something known as ketones, hence ketosis, and then uses those for energy. Simply put, your body begins to burn fat as its primary energy source and moves away from glucose, which is a carbohydrate. The process of going into ketosis does take a few days, and during those days, people experience some adverse side effects: brain fog, irritability, nausea, GI discomfort. Some people label this the keto flu. I don't feel so good. The second process your body uses is gluconeogenesis, which sounds scary, but it's really not. All it is your body creating glucose, because not all cells can function on fats alone. Fun fact here, for survival purposes, you don't need to consume any carbs as long as you're getting enough fats and proteins. Now, where did all of this hype for the ketogenic diet come from? Let's take a look at the claims and find out what's true and what's not. Claim number 1, the ketogenic diet is good for weight loss. Yeah, the ketogenic diet is good for weight loss, and this happens through 2 important mechanisms. First, since you're using fats as your primary energy source, you're burning a lot of stored fat. Second, because fat is very satiating, makes you feel full, when you eat a high fat content meal, you actually don't want to eat as much, therefore you limit the amount of calories you take in throughout the day. A lot of people are surprised that when they start the keto diet, that they lose weight very quickly. But that's a little misleading, because the majority of the weight loss initially comes from water loss, not fat loss. For those of you seeking long-term weight loss, the ketogenic diet is not super sustainable. It's graduation day, all your friends are going to get ice cream, some of them are getting a cookies and cream milkshakes, and you can't have any because you're on a keto diet? That's crazy. You have to be super vigilant when you're on the ketogenic diet, because carbs have this nasty habit of just sneaking into your foods. Ketchup, high carb food, apples, bananas, cookies and cream milkshakes. Well, I just love cookies and cream milkshakes. And so much for having a celebratory drink with your friends. No to alcohol. Claim number 2, the ketogenic diet is good for the brain. The truth of the matter is, the jury's still out on this one, because science hasn't given us the answer. The research on this area just hasn't been completed yet. Anecdotally, some people say they feel more focused or sharper when they're ketogenic diet, but I've also heard from patients of mine that they feel foggier and that keto flu stays with them much longer than anticipated. So I don't like using anecdotes as reasons why a certain diet is good or not. I need quality research, which I just don't have. Claim number 3, the keto diet prevents or manages many chronic diseases. This is a yes and no answer. Where keto diet really shines is in type 2 diabetes. Because when you have type 2 diabetes, you have insulin sensitivity issues, you have high sugar content in the blood, and research has shown over and over again that the ketogenic diet for type 2 diabetes works. We have to talk about childhood epilepsy, because that's where the keto diet actually got its roots. We can actually prescribe the ketogenic diet to children who have refractory epileptic seizures, and what we find is once they get into a state of ketosis, they have a decreased frequency of these seizures. It works, it's proven, it's evidence-based science. The ketogenic diet has shown some promise in the field of oncology, aka cancer. It's not ready to be a prime-time cancer treatment just yet, and the research doesn't fully support it to be a preventive measure for developing cancer. But what we do know is that some promise is there and more research needs to be done. some harms that can stem from following a ketogenic diet, nutritional deficiencies from cutting out large food groups, an increase in your bad LDL cholesterol, kidney issues, bone issues, and even the increase of some certain cancers when you're overeating foods like processed or red meats. My final thoughts on the keto diet. I think it's a good diet for weight loss. I think it's better for short-term weight loss than long-term weight loss. So if you have a wedding that you're getting ready for, some kind of big event that's upcoming, and you're otherwise healthy, I don't think it's a bad diet to go on. The fact that the diet is very difficult to adhere to because of how much you have to drastically change your eating patterns, of the possible adverse effects that can come from following the diet, and frankly, from the lack of knowledge and the lack of research we have on its long-term effects, all put into question and really encourage me to not recommend this diet to the majority of my patients and to you at home.
It's keto time.
Keto, keto, keto. I challenged you to get my keto video to 20,000 likes and you surpassed that goal plenty. And I'm actually really excited about this. I'm unfortunately fresh out of a breakup, so I'm more motivated than ever to change my lifestyle around, be healthier, look better. I wanna take you guys along for that journey. My 1 month of keto starts now. All right, I'm gonna have my very first keto meal. It's the middle of the day, I didn't have breakfast, so I guess you could say I'm intermittent fasting today as well. This is my meal here, beef chili with oaxaca cheese, oaxaca, and cauliflower rice. To my surprise, the first few days of keto weren't that bad. I was totally expecting that I would go with keto flu symptoms right off the bat. It wasn't that bad. I didn't have sugar withdrawal. All right, well, I'm at the gym right now. It's my first heavy workout while on keto, and I gotta admit, I'm incredibly tired. And I got a good night's sleep, so it's not because of that. I suspect that it's probably because I haven't had carbs in 4 days, or at least not enough to make me replenish my glycogen stores. The weight stayed the same, my strength was there, but I fatigued much earlier in my sets. Can't even be certain it's due to the keto diet, but that's what was happening. Bro, you're the worst. All right, my man just shot a shot. Made me drop my phone. This guy right here, wannabe basketball player. All right, today's my first day of cardio with keto on board. And I gotta admit, I'm feeling pretty tired. I just beat both of these guys though. I was able to keep up with them and my sprints were fine and my game was fine, but I noticed that after a game or two, when I would be somewhat out of breath, I was totally burnt. I was really tired, much more than usual. Again, not certain that it's 100% due to the keto diet, but I do suspect keto is playing a role in my decreased stamina in my exercises.
Wait,
the keto struggle is so real. I'm eating cat food.
Let me at least fix my hair, make sure I look good.
While Lisa's eating a healthy salad with some croutons in there, I'm eating cat food.
It's not cat food.
Tell them about the cat food.
It's salmon.
What damn cat food? He's eating cat food. It's right there.
That's called the keto struggle. Going into the second week of keto, I was starting to struggle a lot with my food choices. When I go to work, and I'm gonna be working a long shift, I can't bring all of these goodies and avocado and all this stuff. So what did I do? I brought a Thrive Market can of salmon with some mayonnaise, and I basically ate cat food. Eating a diet that's so high in fat, I mean 75% of my calories were coming from fat, it's difficult to maintain that, and I don't plan well. For example, if I'm going to a big event, I should probably eat beforehand. I'm at the Sebastian Maniscalco concert. The keto struggle is real, because this guy is eating a full hot dog. Real food.
and I gotta suffer right now with this.
You have to plan ahead if you want to stick to keto. Because when you go to a fast food joint or a restaurant, yes, they may have a piece of meat, but eating high protein is not keto. You have to be eating high fat. So you have to be thinking about what it is you're gonna choose off the menu. And you can get a cheeseburger that's very fatty, has sauce on it, that hopefully is carb-free. That's not optimal keto. That's like the dirty keto that people talk about. You're eating high saturated fats, overcooked red meats, using processed oils, and that's not something I generally recommend or want for myself. 2 weeks in, I already had some results showing. My clothes were fitting better, my abs were coming out of hibernation, like one of them legit came out and said, "What up?" And I was like, oh my God, look, it's my ab. I used to see you back in the day, and then you started hibernating. It did surprise me that after 2 weeks of keto, I was already starting to see results. And now I get why this diet is so popular amongst people who are trying to lose weight quickly. And not that I'm advocating for that, but it was nice to see results so early on and quite motivational. I will say though, the majority of the weight loss that happens in the first week or so is usually water weight. That's not gonna be sustainable, that speed of weight loss.
I feel like on keto, I wake up really hungry. Normally, I don't mind skipping breakfast, but on keto, I'm starving. It's probably because I'm eating so much less calories than usual.
Getting into the later weeks of keto, I was getting hungry. That doesn't mean I wasn't satiated. I mean, eating a lot of fats, you get full quickly and you're no longer hungry. But when I say hungry, I mean more like cravings. Bananas, cookies and cream milkshakes. And then I even noticed a pattern where I was hungry just because I was bored.
I had a high-fat meal. I had some sardines with guacamole. I'm full, but I want to munch on something. I just want to eat some chips. So I realized I like to bored eat. And on keto, you really can't bored eat unless you just eat nuts all day. But how much, I don't understand how many almonds you can eat in one day before you... I think I broke keto. I mean, not technically. I had several drinks last night. That technically throws you out of keto. They were not sugary drinks. I just had soda and alcohol, but that does technically take you out of ketosis, at least for a short while. So you probably think I'm a failure.
Look, we all make mistakes, and 2 steps forward with 1 step back is still 1 step forward. That's something that I want you to remember and take away from my keto journey. If you mess up, it's not the end of the world. It doesn't mean that you're a failure. Yes, I had a few drinks and it took me out of ketosis for a little bit because your body actually metabolizes the alcohol and uses that as energy instead of fats, but it's fine. As soon as I stopped drinking the alcohol, the next day I was probably back in ketosis and everything was back on track. So did it slow down my progress? Probably somewhat, but it wasn't the end of the world. If I treated it like it was the end of the world, that would hurt my progress because that would demotivate me and cause me to order some cookies and cream milkshakes. And we know we can't do that on keto. I had a renewed determination to continue and finish my keto journey.
Even at the mall.
1 month of keto's in the books. I made it. I ate 75% of my calories from fat, 20% from protein, 5% from carbs. I stuck to this bad boy. But let's talk summary. Let's talk about what happened. First and foremost, body. I started this diet at 208 pounds. I weighed in this morning at 202 pounds. So that's a 6-pound weight loss in 4 weeks. Sounds pretty appropriate, about 1.5 pounds per week. My abs are showing a little bit more, which gets me really excited for summer. Now, when it comes to my mind, I don't necessarily feel any big difference that jumps out, but I do notice that I don't crash as much, especially in the midday section. Let's talk recommendations. You need to have small meals and snacks at the ready. For the average healthy person, going on a short course of keto will help them lose some weight, and it probably won't be detrimental to their health. If you're gonna start a new diet, any diet for that matter, go see your doctor and have that conversation. Figure out what are the benefits versus harms so you can make the most educated decision possible moving forward. the biggest problems I ran into, and this is really embarrassing to say on camera, was it's officially official. 4 weeks of going vegan are in the books, and I'm so happy I met my goal. I have to thank you guys for challenging me on my 30 days of keto video. Just to clarify, there are many reasons why people follow a vegan diet. Moral, ethical, environmental. But the information I'm gonna cover here is only what's related to nutrition and health. If you want me to talk about those other concepts, I'm happy to do so. Drop me a line below and we'll make a dedicated vegan video to just that. A vegan diet can be a very healthy diet, whether you're young, old, somewhere in between, pregnant, non-pregnant, breastfeeding, not breastfeeding. Basically, it's applicable to all life stages. The reason I put that word can in there, you can follow a vegan diet, eat vegan burgers with sugary sodas, with gummy candies, still be vegan, and that's not really healthy, right? And I have to say, it's not the only healthy diet out there. Some of the loudest voices in the vegan community are quick to say that veganism is the only healthy option. That's not the case. There are several other healthy diets out there. For example, the Mediterranean diet that I'm personally a fan of, that are just as healthy, if not healthier than the vegan diet. I have to be honest and admit that I don't generally recommend veganism as my first option. I do know that it's a restrictive diet, and we know restrictive diets have high failure rates. Plus, the benefits of a vegan diet aren't that much better than some of the other alternatives that are simpler to follow. When I recommend a diet, I'm trying to create the healthiest diet, but also one that's feasible and achievable for my patients to face without disrupting their lives. On the other hand, if one of my patients comes in and wants to follow a vegan diet, I'm totally in support of that. I just have to make sure that they're adequately planning their meals, they're supplementing when need be, checking their blood tests, and ideally having some guidance either from myself or a nutritionist. The research behind health benefits of following a vegan diet are substantial and high quality. If you're following the standard American diet and then switch over to a vegan diet, you're gonna see improvement in chronic diseases like diabetes, heart disease, strokes, even an extension of life in some cases. And what's most interesting is when we add some animal products into the mix, those outcomes still hold true. That's why what I recommend to my patients is a plant-focused diet, meaning that they should get the majority of their calories from plants. Fruits, vegetables, legumes, nuts, seeds, healthy fats, and a moderate amount of poultry and fish with a minimal amount of red meat. In fact, that's the diet I follow and recommend to my own family. The field of nutrition research is ever changing, and as we get more information, more quality studies, we doctors and nutritionists alike are gonna be able to give better recommendations when it comes to a vegan diet, a plant-focused diet. All of this is susceptible to change, but it's important that we make the best decisions with the knowledge that we have on hand. The one thing that I can say with 100% certainty is there's no such thing as a miracle diet for everybody. On day one, I was excited. I was like, if I could tackle keto, I can definitely do vegan. So when all the stuff from Thrive came in, I was unboxing, I was popping out the food, it looked delicious. The first point at which I had a little bit of hesitation was when I ordered my first at-home delivery. Buffalo cauliflower bites with some kind of not real mayo. And this is a wrap with vegan cheese and unchicken. What is unchicken? I was having second thoughts, and that's not like me. If I set a goal for myself, I'm gonna do everything in my power to meet that goal. But for some reason, when sticking to this vegan diet, I was concerned about so many things. The following week, I was leaving to MIT for the leadership conference. I was worried if they're gonna have vegan options available for me. I was then traveling to Miami for a few days. All these worries started bubbling in my head, and I was really wondering, can I stick to vegan this entire month? Why should I do vegan?
Because it's more healthier for you, boo.
You think so?
Yes.
But 30 days is a long time.
Just do it!
One of the first obstacles I ran into on the vegan diet was under eating calories. Now, I'm partially to blame here because I didn't prep well. And even at the opening of this video, I said the healthy way to follow a vegan diet is to adequately plan your meals. For the first 2 weeks, I have to be honest, I didn't have much of an appetite. I'm not a huge fan of just eating vegetables and rice and beans, so I didn't have tremendous portions. And because of that, I was calorie deficient. I actually noticed some weight loss. What helped me tremendously to make up this calorie deficit is eating some of these snacks that Thrive sent over. If I didn't have these snacks, I'd be under eating calories the majority of the time. Long days in the hospital, but I got my Simple Mills. These crackers get me through some rough days. One of the biggest problems I ran into, and this is really embarrassing to say on camera. The whole plane ride, I'm sitting next to a doctor. My stomach is going, blah, 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 blah. I had to ask him to stand up like 3-4 times. From day one up until the last day of the diet, I was having tremendous gas and bloating. It's so embarrassing to say. I mean, think about this. I fly on planes. I interact with patients for long periods of time. I sit in conferences. I can't just be sitting there flatulent. I did try and isolate some ingredients to see which ones were causing this gas and bloating combination for me, but I couldn't find out what it was. I normally eat brown rice. I normally eat vegetables and fruits and beans. I expect them to go away after 4 weeks, but no, they stuck around. I would have to say that the vegan diet probably won't work for me long term. I just can't sit there with my stomach going blah, 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 and me wanting to pass gas the entire time. God, that's embarrassing. What I didn't know about veganism is that there are a ton of up-and-coming options for those who aren't used to eating vegan. There are specialty restaurants that just offer vegan foods with no animal products that remind you of foods that you may have eaten when you ate animal products. And I thought that was really cool. On top of that, a lot of these restaurants and even some of the products I got from Thrive tasted delicious because of the sauces. Vegan sauces are on point. I'm loving these blue chips, but without some like sauce, like I'm really digging this Primal Kitchen classic barbecue sauce, these chips just aren't cutting it. I've talked about on this channel of decision fatigue. Because you're constantly making decisions and you're using your willpower, it's actually a finite resource. What I noticed while I was following the vegan diet was that I lost the drive to go to the gym. My work ethic actually suffered because I was putting such a strong emphasis on sticking to vegan when there were so many temptations and there were things I wanted to eat. I didn't want to hop on my spin bike in my bedroom. I didn't want to go to the gym with my friends. This is really unlike me, and it's an obstacle I didn't actually expect to face. When I went to the gym, I lifted fine. Getting to the gym was the actual struggle. At the time I least expected it, disaster struck. I got sick. I started coughing. I got a sore throat. I got a low-grade fever. I went to see the doctor. I weighed the pros and cons of starting antibiotics, of stopping the vegan diet. I decided to stick with conservative treatment and treat it like a viral illness. One of my favorite hacks to treat viral illnesses, actually the symptoms of the viral illnesses, is green tea with Manuka honey.
Patrol members be advised.
Freeze! Vegan police! Vegan police!
Apparently, honey is not vegan. What? I guess honey is an animal product, but man, I didn't force the bees to make the honey. They make it on their own. We didn't have to milk them for it. Wait, if you want to disqualify my 4-week vegan challenge because I ate honey, so be it. I gotta say, at this point, I was rolling. I was starting getting into the vegan vibe. I was trying out new restaurants. I was sampling all the delicious foods that I got from Thrive, and I was excited. I was getting close to the finish line. But I will say one of the hardest things with the vegan diet is peer pressure. I mean, when I went out to eat with my friends, they were annoyed, to say the least, that we had to choose the restaurant based on my eating preferences. I did do a decent job at trying to pick out vegan options in not so vegan places. Look at this dedication. Greek salad, no feta, asparagus, fries, while I got this next to me, while Keith is eating this. And Jack is eating that. What are you eating? Fish. The vegan struggle's real. Honestly, I was really proud of myself, and it's nice every now and then to take a challenge like this and learn something new about yourself. In fact, I want to tell you 5 things that I learned not only about the vegan diet, but also about myself during this process. 1, when I didn't plan well, I ate very unhealthy. When I was at MIT for breakfast, I ate Cinnamon Toast Crunch with almond milk and a banana every morning. That's not healthy, even though it's vegan. 2, I didn't notice a major change in my energy level like I thought I would. I mean, maybe I had a slightly decreased energy level, but we have to remember that I was sick. In the beginning, I was under eating calories, so I don't feel it's fair to blame vegan for that. 3, surprisingly, I didn't get weaker on vegan. I was lifting strong and I felt good. But what did suffer was getting to the gym. I really noticed a lack of willpower when I was following this restrictive diet. 4, when it comes to my body, I lost 3 pounds. I dropped from 203 to 200 pounds, so there was some weight loss, probably from under eating calories. But despite losing weight, I didn't feel as lean. I mean, all those sauces, all the rice that I ate, pasta, that contributed to the carb load and probably made me feel a little bit pudgier than usual. 5, this is the big one. The real difficulty was my GI system. I mean, it was a mess. The amount of gas and flatulence and bloating, God, it's like gross even talking about, but it was really bad. If you have that with any diet, there's no way you're sticking with it. And I tried taking some over-the-counter supplements for this. It did absolutely nothing. If you're curious or interested in starting a vegan diet, I don't want to dissuade you. In fact, I want to encourage you. Go talk to a dietitian, nutritionist, physician, someone who's well-versed with vegan diets. That way you could do it the healthy, happy, safe way without hurting yourself in the process. And please reduce the amount of refined carbs and processed foods that you're eating, because as more research comes out, that's the stuff that causes diseases and shortens your lifespan. I've seen your requests, I've read your comments, so here we go. Intermittent fasting.
I'm dying to talk to you about this.
I eat for 8 hours and I fast for 16.
I can feel the difference. Before we get into the pros and cons and if you should do it, let's talk about what intermittent fasting actually is. Human fasting is not a new concept by any means. Humans have been doing it for millennia. Intermittent fasting is just a rebranding of something that we have already been doing. Our bodies enter a fasting state every time we're asleep. Some people do intermittent fasting and not even know it. I mean, there's plenty of times where I had a stressful rotation in medical school or a difficult job in the hospital where I didn't have time to eat breakfast. That's a form of intermittent fasting, and our bodies are totally capable of handling this. I know what you're thinking. I don't want to starve myself for health benefits. Intermittent fasting is not starving. When you're fasting, your body's using stored nutrients and stored energy forms in order to make your body continue to function. When you're starving, you've run out of those energy sources and are breaking down vital tissues like organs to get that same energy. There are many different ways to go about going on one of these diets, and that not only makes it confusing for you, but that also makes it very difficult to do research on it to find out how effective it truly is, because if there are multiple ways to do it, we have to be able to test each one of those ways. The 16-8 diet, which is not eating during 16 hours of the day. Alternate day fasting, where you eat one day, fast the other day. 5 and 2, where 2 days of the week that you're fasting. There's no hard and fast rule saying that this is the correct way of doing it. You may be wondering, how is IF beneficial to me? There's been a lot of proposed health benefits. Many of them have been proven within animal studies or lab models, which is not the same thing as being proven in a human model, but they are very promising. Now, those benefits include increased mental sharpness, a favorable hormonal profile, weight loss, decreases of inflammation within the body, decreases of certain diseases within the body. How can IF help you lose weight? You have an increase in growth hormone, a decrease in insulin, and that alone will help you lose weight. Next, because you're skipping meals or you're even going days without eating meals, it's very likely that when you look throughout the week, you'll be eating fewer calories. Our thinking is that during 8 hours, you'll eat less than you would if you were eating during 16 hours. Let's talk about these other health benefits. We know that chronic stress is not good for the body. The body's just not meant to be chronically stressed out. It's not meant to have a high heart rate, high blood pressure. Intermittent fasting is really a form of acute short-term mild stress. This type of acute short-term stress is really good for the body. What can we use as a metaphor here? Let's take exercise. Exercise is a form of acute mild stress. What happens after exercise? We have benefits for the brain, we have benefits for weight loss, we have benefits for disease prevention. Now, similarly, when you stress your body through intermittent fasting, there are some benefits. More autophagy, which is the removal of cellular waste, more production of neurotrophic factors, which protect your brain, and a favorable hormonal profile with increases in human growth hormone and norepinephrine. Let's talk about some of the shortcomings of IF. Primarily, there's not enough guidance of what you should eat. We don't know how many calories, we don't know what foods to eat on the days or times that you actually are eating. Second, we don't know which form of IF is best. Third, there are some side effects when you are fasting that people do experience. Headaches, mental fog, heartburn. These things do exist. It's not totally benign. 4, we don't know the consequences of following an intermittent fasting diet long term. Most, if not all of these studies are done on the short term. If you are eating a very unhealthy diet and then make a change, you're definitely gonna see a benefit. But now, does this benefit still hold up 1, 2, 3, 10 years down the line? We don't know that yet when it comes to IF. And 5, it's not easy for everybody to fight off those cravings on fasting days. Alrighty, my final take on IF. I think it's a great concept with some really promising medical research behind it. I think that if you can skip a meal, you can skip a breakfast here and there, you're gonna see some benefits. Does that mean you should go on this very rigid diet where you're doing the 5 and 2 or 16 and 8? I don't think we should quite make this a religious, rigorous part of our everyday life because we don't know the long-term consequences of it. But in a society that's prone to overeating, a fasting day won't hurt and will probably help. I know someone's gonna enjoy that, but I don't get to enjoy it. It's officially 2020 and the new year is upon us, so everybody's looking to try out a new diet, a new challenge, and I did exactly that for the last 30 days with Whole30. No added sugar, no grains, no legumes, no dairy, no alcohol, no measurements, no MSG or sulfites, and no fake junk food with approved ingredients. It's really a short list, but if you really dive in and look at the rules, each one technically eliminates whole food groups. And boy, was it a challenge for me. The original plan was to start Whole30 immediately after my birthday, which falls on November 12th. Just turned 30, by the way, and that was a big occasion to celebrate, so I don't want to be following any restrictive diets in that moment, you know what I'm saying? Little sweets never hurt nobody, cookies and cream milkshake. But then, I began having some serious second thoughts.
But Dr. Mike, you always said elimination diets are no good. They can kill eating disorders and even nutritional deficiencies at times. And now you're gonna do it yourself and endorse it?
No! This is not an endorsement. This is not an endorsement of Whole30 for everybody. It's not a universal recommendation. In fact, there are very few universal recommendations that doctors give to their patients. Whole30 is something I wanted to try. I wanted to see how my body responded to it. The rules of Whole30, a lot of them make sense to me, and I was fine following them. But there were a few that I knew were gonna be problematic right off the bat. And those two are no grains and no dairy. I can cut out bread. That's not a problem. I've done that before when I was gluten sensitive in the past. I've overcome that. But the fact that I have to give up brown rice, quinoa, things that I eat, part of a healthy diet, my sushi, that's, if you know what I eat, that's like my go-to meal. So I was gonna be suffering without having rice. And then to not have cheese? Cheese, it's what makes the world go round. It's like my favorite thing, even in salads, like you need to put a little blue cheese crumble in there to make it taste good. So I knew right away that that was gonna be a problem. What I tried to do was to plan a little bit more thoroughly. Figure out what places I can still eat in, but just make sure that my food was still Whole30 approved. For example, on a work day, all right, my usual midday work meal is Chipotle. And I initially thought I couldn't have Chipotle on Whole30, but boy, was I wrong. All I had to do was take out the rice and beans and I'm good to go. Oh, and the cheese, obviously. I love cheese. So what do I have in my bowl? Salad bowl, double the meat chicken, mild salsa, guacamole, and the fajita vegetables. Sounds yummy! Boy, did I make a mistake giving up sweets during the sweetest time of the year. Bro, I'm trying to start my first day at Whole30, and then what is this? What is this? And then, what is this? It's ridiculous in here. Holidays, birthdays, retirements. There were cakes and chocolate bars everywhere. Part of trying to give something up, your success depends on getting away from those things. I made sure that I didn't have any sweets in my house, so I couldn't cheat. But constantly being met with sweets galore in the hospital, that was a serious challenge for me. And I was like, oh my God, am I gonna give in? But for some reason, having those rules made it a little bit easier because I just deferred to the rules as opposed to like, no, I really shouldn't. Boy, I missed something big. What holiday falls from the middle of November to the middle of December? Thanksgiving. How did I not think this through? And on top of it, I was invited to an amazing Thanksgiving Greek dinner. And if you've never had a Greek dinner, the Whole30 struggle is real at a Greek Thanksgiving. You agree? Oh yeah. It's not like my sous vide cooking that you saw not too long ago. It's much, much better than that. Basically, all I could put on my plate was the turkey and some peas because everything else had cheese on it or some kind of grain, and I was just sitting there unhappily. And everyone looked at me like I was crazy. You know that scene from my big fat Greek wedding?
What do you mean you don't eat no meat?
What do you mean you don't eat no rice? Oh, it's okay, we have cake. I'm like, no! Do you know how bad I want to eat this right now? One of the rules of Whole30 is that you can't drink alcohol. To me, not a big deal. I'm not a big drinker anyway. I'll have a glass of wine or a drink here and there for celebratory purposes. But now, I went to Miami for Art Basel. If you don't know what Art Basel is, it's like a fancy schmancy art event where it's a ton of exhibits in Miami, great weather, great people, everyone's happy, people are having drinks. If you've never been to Miami, a big part of the celebration during Art Basel is to go out at night. I've never really gone out to nightclubs without having at least one drink. It's not about getting drunk for me, it's just about, you know, like having a drink and loosening up. But being out with like 2 Chainz on top of you singing, and I'm there just drinking water, everyone felt like I was a buzzkill at this thing. Mike, have a drink with us, you know, cheers, 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 and I would be cheersing water and people would get offended. I was able to withstand that, but I could easily see how if you're trying to follow Whole30, the peer pressure can really motivate someone to cheat. I was moving, I was grooving, I was starting to feel good on Whole30. I was even getting proud telling people like, oh no rice for me, just sashimi, or whatever it is I was eating. But then disaster struck. Again, probably due to poor planning, but it was a true disaster. Went to the gym a few times and my bench started going down, which makes no sense. Normally, like when I'm working out, I'm benching like 225, 255. 225 was becoming a huge challenge for me. When I stepped onto the basketball court, after one game, I felt like I was exhausted. It made no sense to me. It's not because I turned 30. It's probably because I was under-eating my calories. When you do an elimination diet like Whole30, it's very easy to under-eat calories. This is probably why a lot of people lose weight. But now myself being an athlete, I needed to plan for that. I should have thought more ahead to make sure that I can still perform on the court and in the gym. Once I threw in some extra calories, things improved a lot. I was having less cravings, performing better in the gym. Actually, my body probably looked the best that it's looked in some time following this because I did a lot of caloric restriction unintentionally and then kept working out and then upped my protein. Just got back from the gym, so I need my little post-workout meal. Whole30 approved. We got Wild Planet, a little grilled chicken. Oops, I spilled some. I was even already so used to the eating habits, like of things I could and couldn't eat, that when I would go out to eat with somebody, they would get like an awesome little bun cake or like some rice, something that looks delicious. I wasn't even stressing it anymore. Like once you get out of old habits and you develop new ones, it's not that big of a deal. I was actually feeling really good and proud of myself that I was getting to the end. Now, when you hit your 30-day mark, it's not over. You then enter the phase of reintroduction of the foods one by one to see how they would affect your body. because the whole premise of this is not only to develop a better relationship with foods, but it's also to see if those foods negatively affect your body. This is like the claim of Whole30 that I'm not a huge fan of. It's not really scientific. Like if you put in legumes on the first day, then 2 days later added sugars, then 2 days after that, grains, like that's not scientific. If we're doing a proper elimination challenge in the medical setting, we do a 90-day elimination. We keep a strict log of symptoms. We then do a reintroduction one at a time to see if and when symptoms return. I can put in legumes on day 1, day 2 I can put in grains, and then have symptoms on day 6, and it could be due to any one of those. It's not very scientific because you don't know what's happening there. If you followed my previous 30-day challenges, you know that my digestive system becomes an absolute mess. I mean, bloating, diarrhea, whenever I make any kind of drastic changes, and believe me, this was a drastic change. When I began that reintroduction phase, everything went back to normal. I mean, yes, I included more vegetables in my diet, but by doing so, everything returned back to normal. I started feeling good again. I just think that these major drastic changes when you're already eating healthy probably aren't great for your microbiome and your overall gut health. So I find that when I eat my normal diet that's right for my body and my athletic needs, it works best for me, but with more vegetables. Something I noticed was that I was struggling to get my fiber from my meals, because normally I would eat things like black beans at least 3-4 times a week, brown rice. And when I had to eliminate all those, I had to find replacement sources. And yeah, vegetables, fruits, there's stuff in there. I think if I was to do it again, I would probably supplement with something just to make sure I get enough fiber. One of the main questions people asked me when I was almost at the end of Whole30 was, how did my body change? Well, I definitely saw some weight loss, but remember, part of the rules are no measurements. I didn't weigh myself. What I did notice was that my clothes were fitting a lot more loose. My pants were a little baggier. Even my watch started sort of hanging on my hand. Maybe I was losing muscle because I was under eating calories, but there's definitely ways you can mitigate all of that depending on what your goals are. That's why my recommendation is to never just do these on a whim. Talk to a nutritionist, a registered dietitian, a physician, somebody that can give you some guidance on what you should be doing. In fact, my whole gripe with Whole30 is that it really encourages people to do this on a whim. They're like, oh, if you're fatigued, try this, it may help. It's true, it may help, especially if you're eating a ton of junk food. But what if you have a vitamin D deficiency that you're not aware of, and then you do Whole30, you don't eat dairy, and that worsens your vitamin D deficiency, or you're anemic or something. I mean, there's so many reasons why people can have symptoms. That's exactly the reason why you should be evaluated before you start a drastic elimination diet like this. That's not knocking Whole30. That's just spitting facts. At the end of the day, nutritional advice should be individualized, but it's a very restrictive diet. It can cause some serious problems. There's definitely some research showing that there's some crossover with eating disorders, and most of the time it's unnecessary. I just feel that there's other ways of getting someone to eat healthy than to give them a strict list of 8 things to do and eliminating some foods that I think are otherwise healthy. Why would you eliminate certain foods like black beans that can be so healthy to the majority of people? A lot of it doesn't make sense. But look, if you want a challenge for yourself, like I did, and you want to do it the safe way, make sure you talk to a nutritionist or a doctor, and you do it the smart way.